Oh, hot dog. Welcome back to the show, Therapy Unzipped. Your host Tom and Brett. How you doing, Brett?
How diddly doodly there, Tom? How you be? How it
Well,
is, how it was, how it will it be?
what it look like.
What it smell like?
Well, I'm looking like, man, know what I'm saying? Uh, what are all those phrases that don't really say anything, but anyway. So things are weird.
One of my favorite movies to quote is The Incredibles. What a great movie, right?
Yeah.
Things are getting weird, Mrs. Parks.
Yeah, they are getting weird out there, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it on the show. It might be a heavier show, but we'll do our best to raise some vibrations.
Right. It has been weird. My interactions over the past week or so have been pretty heavy. Not just kind of your normal stuff. People are really, but not everybody. People, several people I've talked to, half a dozen people I've talked to, are really despondent, like really kind of at the edge of their rope.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's an accumulation of things. I mean, prices get higher and higher and higher. People can't afford what they used to, right? Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Um, People are trying to, balance their families or their budget on their credit cards. Credit card debt is high. I've seen some videos about people that are just like, I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not paying my credit cards anymore. I'm not paying my mortgage anymore, and they can't
Yeah,
evict us all. you know.
right. Yeah.
So I mean, things are more expensive than ever. So the thought for most people of buying a new car is a joke when the average new car is costing what 40, 50 grand, and
Right.
interest rates are 6, 7, 8%.
Hmm.
I mean,
And that's
it's
not a lavish, right? Like
no
whip.
sedan, and yeah. So anyway, I've talked with a lot of people that are just like, I can't do it anymore. I can't go out to eat. And when I do go out to eat, the food's not great. The prices are crazy. They put an 18, I saw this, I was talking to this guy. He's like, they put an 18% service fee on my dinner bill, and then they expected me to tip. I'm like, what is
Right.
the service fee? Oh, that's, the service fee we have to have for the restaurant. And then you tip on top of that. And he's like, no,
Right. Right.
just no. I mean, and I get restaurants have to do what they have to do, and everyone's trying to do what
Right.
they can to make it, but prices are high, confidence is down. I mean, we're getting close to this midterm election, and we have primaries going right now. The ads on the TV are just horrific for these, they're
Right.
just pointing the fingers at each other,
Yeah.
Oh my God, look what a piece of crap that person is. Oh my God, look what, they're
Yeah.
they're gonna,
I'm
whatever.
gonna change it.
Yeah, okay.
We've
Well,
heard this before.
it's not changing.
Yeah, it's not changing. Right.
It's
And
so funny. I mean, we have been doing this political system for years and years and years and years, and it just gets worse.
yeah.
But then when the election comes around, it's like, I know how to fix it. Well,
And people believe that.
people believe it, but it's not changing.
It's not changing.
It just gets worse. Yeah.
Ah. So you see why people are despondent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the politics are just like the icing on the cake, on
Yeah.
top of the prices, on top of the weather. The weather's been crazy. They had a derecho in the Midwest, which is I learned is a land hurricane, and maybe I said it wrong. I apologize if I mispronounced it. But it's a land hurricane, right? Like 80, 90 mile an hour winds, taking out trees and flooding. I talked to two people over the last week that lost their cars due to like flooding in downtown Chicago. Like just
Derecho.
yeah, Chicago turned into Venice like overnight.
They need
And,
gondolas there now.
and people lost their cars. And these are not people that, yes, they probably have insurance, but that takes time. It's like, how do I get to work now?
Right.
Like,
I need to go make money.
right. and it was tight, and they were kind of on the edge to begin with, and now they're just like, I'm out. And I've talked with the people that are just like, I'm out of, I'm checking out of the system. I'm not
Yeah,
paying bills. I'm not participating. My wife goes to work and works like 60 hours a week, and what she makes pays for daycare. Well, so why would, nothing else? So
right.
why are we doing this? Why are we I'm out. Not participating anymore.
And to your point, there's a lot of people that are saying I'm out, or they're making certain cuts out of necessity,
Yeah.
and it's certain cuts that are really beneficial for them to not, like therapy is one of those things. I mean, this is a time
Medications.
where people need that, right? All the more reason to engage with therapy and even have medications, right? To
Hmm.
cope and to deal and to power through, but they're
Hmm.
cutting those things. And now we've got this big case, you're right, against the, whole clinical mental health Western medicine, right? With the
Right.
the woman who sadly tragic story, but a lot of mental health workers under scrutiny now as a result of this, and that doesn't bode well for people seeking out help and
Right.
therapy and psychiatry, and and of course, an added expense. I mean, if you could use your insurance, this is wonderful. However, you know what it's like when you use your insurance for that kind of care, right? What are you going to get? An
Right.
agency that sees high volume, and then if you have some extra money that you spend out of pocket to see providers that can probably be a little bit more helpful and more inclusive in your case and who do interact with other clinicians, because there's
Right.
not such a high volume, it's an out of pocket expense and it can be a
Hmm.
luxury. And if you don't have that because you've got to buy meat and your $1,200 car payment, like
Hmm.
they're just not doing that. But increased anxiety, increased depression, and suicidality, or at least ideation, and all the more reason to have ongoing help and support, which is, big reason why we're doing this show, so that we
Hmm.
can be of help and support to people out there.
I remember now I go to Publix, and for those of you that are not in the South, don't know what Publix is, but it's a more expensive option for food shopping, and I only get certain items there, and it's the BOGOs and whatever.
Hmm.
There's reasons to go to Publix. It's great though. It's a great grocery store. The deli is fantastic. The bakery is fantastic. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
used to get. I remember like even a year or two ago, I would get ground beef on sale for like 3.99.
Yeah.
Right? Not, and that was a great price. And you'd pick up, a big pack, 3.99.
Hmm.
Now the sale price is 8.99.
Yeah.
Normally 12.99, and it's on sale for 8.99.
Yeah.
I'm like, and this is like a year ago. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What
I know.
happened?
I know.
What had happened was,
See what had happened was, and we're all feeling it,
uh,
right?
yeah,
Like we were talking before, and how we worked hard over our lives and our career to build what we have, and it's not, tremendously lavish, but it's, uh,
right,
decent enough, and we're even feeling that. So if we're feeling that, I mean,
right. We're lucky enough that we make, pretty good money and we can pay the bills. Um, and it's even affecting us. I mean, you and I were talking before the show is, we remember not too long ago, very recently, that, at the end of the month, we had a couple bucks left over and it's like, hey, let's put it into retirement, or hey, let's do, what are we going to do with kind of our extra this month?
right.
And there's no extra anymore.
Yeah.
We're just paying the bills kind
We
of thing.
paid the bills.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
Woohoo. Success. And, for most people, that they're just trying to do that, the bare minimum. And
Right.
even working so hard, they're having a hard time doing that. I saw a stat the other day. It's like the average house in the United States is $400,000. In order to be able to afford that, you have to have a salary of $110,000.
Hmm.
And that is, I mean, that's a lot of money. Remember, I mean, I remember back in the day, I started, and this was a long time ago, but I started making like 20, 25 grand, and
Right.
I was paying bills back then,
30 grand was like, whoa,
right?
look at me go.
And then you hit 50 grand and we were excited. And
Yeah.
I think people, on average make, 40 grand now. There's
Hmm.
no chance, even if two people are making, 40 grand, they're still way short of trying to
Yeah.
afford an average house.
Not if your rent or mortgage is at, 3 grand to 4 grand per month.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Get a car. You know what I mean? We talked about cars already.
Yeah.
There's a trend on TikTok where people go around like at car dealerships and say, "What's your car payment? What are you driving? What's your car payment?" And it's like, $500, $600, $800, $1,200. What?
Yeah.
I
Twelve
remember
hundred dollars.
I remember our car payments used to be $300 and our mortgage
Yeah.
was like 1,400.
Right. Yeah. Remember
Now
that
it's
$300
1,200 for
car
a car.
payment? We're like, ooh, that's high.
Yeah, I know. Ugh, it's crazy.
Well, and the other thing with like the car payments too, and I know maybe this is getting off on a tangent, but how it's over like 8 years now. Right? So it's like
Yeah.
1,200 for 8 years.
The longest loan we used to get before was 5 years. It was a
Yeah.
60-month.
Right.
Yeah.
That was like, wow, that's long. You're gonna be paying
Yeah.
that for a while.
Yeah. Now 8 years, the car's going to be dead. I mean, there's no chance the car's going to last that long.
Right. So we're
Wow.
all feeling this and we're getting a little despondent, a little angry, and maybe even hopeless. What do we do? Where do we go from here? What can we do? What can we control? I
Yeah.
guess. And I like what you had said earlier about checking in on your people, your tribe. How can we, unite together and help each other out? Because we don't have to go through this alone. Everybody is feeling it. And so, how do we unite
Yeah.
and either make some positive changes or at least take care of one another?
Right. Recognize that this is happening for everybody, right? Whether they want to talk about it or not. And that's fine if they don't want to talk about it. It's not always the easiest thing to talk about, but just recognize if it's affecting you, it's affecting everyone. So what do you do? Check in on your people. How you doing? Hey, how's things going? Man, I'm just, man, I just balanced my checkbook at the end of the month and man, woo, how you doing?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And, you could do different things like, hey, you used to go out with your friends for dinner, once a month or whatever. And I mean, restaurants have gotten crazy, like expensive, and the food is like been disappointing. Anyway, we went to a restaurant for a friend's birthday 2 weeks ago. One of my favorite restaurants. I'm not going to name it, and I'm going there for years and love it. And I was so disappointed. It was so expensive, and the food was terrible, and the service was bad, and like the courses were like didn't come forever, and then we're on top of each other, and it was like, what is going on here?
What has happened?
So I mean, you don't have to go out to dinner once a month. Have it over, make a pot of chili, have a chili party, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, Last year we had a Super Bowl where everyone bought a crock pot of soup or something.
Mhm.
Do something like that. Be creative. Check in on your peeps, but you don't have to continue to do what you've always done because we are not living under normal times.
Exactly. So we want to try to boost some like positivity and some energy because one of the beautiful things that's birthed out of a crisis is change, like when we're comfortable, we don't change because there's not a necessity to change. But when things aren't working anymore, that's when we finally get the impetus. Maybe it's out of necessity to make some positive changes. So let's capitalize on this whole experience. Let's change the way that we do things. Let's change the way we think about things. And let's change our behaviors. And we can start with our thinking about it. We can start with our mindset, and instead of, oh, what a shitty place this is, and there's nothing good coming out of it, and nothing is going to ever get better. Let's start at the ground level, grassroots, by us making things better, making our day a little bit brighter, or making the day a little bit brighter for somebody else.
Hmm.
And you can start with gratefulness, the gratefulness, of things that you do have right now that are going well and okay. and checking in on your people, your family, your friends, your colleagues,
Mhm.
talking to one another.
I always recommend, we talk about journaling, but and gratitude. There's a lot that goes along with that, and maybe that'll be a whole different show. But what I recommend to people is, even if you don't journal, keep like a legal pad or a pad of paper, or even put it in your notes. And every day, write down one or two things that you're grateful for, right? And it could be the smallest of things, right? Grateful for I got a job. I'm grateful, the weather's good right now. I'm grateful for my friends, whatever you're grateful for. And then when you're having those moments where you're just like, bruh,
Yeah.
I'm not doing so good. It's a great time to go back and read your gratitude list and to remind yourself of all the things that you have in your life that are good, going well for you.
It's it's so simple, but
It's,
it can be profound. And tell the people that you love and care about that you're grateful for them and that you do love and care about them. Even if they get sick of hearing it, keep telling them that.
mm-hmm,
Boost the mood, raise the vibrations around. You can control that. I mean, just get the door for somebody and smile at them and
right,
ask just sincerely how they're doing, not the, hey, how are you? Like, hey, how are things going? Like,
right,
you need to talk, we can talk.
yeah,
You don't have to be their therapist. You don't have to have any solutions to fix their problems. You can just listen,
mm-hmm,
check in.
yeah. And most of the time, people don't want you to fix their problems. They just want to be heard.
Yeah,
So don't feel like the pressure. And, we've talked about this before. Us as guys, we're always the fixer. So we're always, when people tell us the problems, we always want to come up with solutions that might help them. That's not
yeah.
what people want. I don't need other people to fix my problems. I just want them to listen to me.
Hmm.
And we've talked about that strategy, particularly with couples. I want to grab your earlobe or point to your head. What do you want from me? You want my ear or my head? You want my head? Do you want me to help you solve this problem? Or my ear? Do you just want me to listen?
Yeah, which is powerful. And I
Yeah.
teach that in with couples all the time. I
Hmm.
mean, what can we do right now? We can't fight the wall, right?
All right.
But we can figure out ways to circumvent it, to go up it, to help each other over it, or to accept what is for now and make a plan for, how things are going to be different in the next couple of months, few
Hmm.
years. That we do have control over.
So I'm playing a little game where they sent me the sample ballot for the primaries, right? You'll
Yeah.
get one when the midterms are coming. I guess people get this. I assume people get this, but anyway, I have it in my chair, kind of where I sit and watch TV.
Hmm.
And when it comes up, and I see a real annoying ad that's just gratuitously false or deflammatory or whatever. Then I'll just take out a little my little pen and I go, tick. Okay, so I got your number. So you
Well
think
done.
that you're spending all this money on ads to sway me into your camp? Well, yeah, you just pushed me out of camp, and that's fine. I don't want to be in your camp. So thank you. My favorite quote is by Maya Angelou, and she says, "When people tell you who they are, believe them."
Hmm.
So when I see your political ad and you tell me who you are, I believe you the first time, and you got a
Hmm.
check mark next to your name. And then I'll take my little sample ballot into the ballot box, and you've made my decision for me. Thank you. So whoever doesn't have a check mark by the end,
That's who gets it.
it's getting my vote.
That's who gets the X. X marks the square.
All right.
That's a fun game.
And I have fun with it, right? It doesn't. So it does a couple things. Number one, it really helps me focus on, paying attention to the candidates, number one. But it makes me smile, right?
Mm.
So when I see a crappy ad, it doesn't make me cringe anymore. I'm just like, oh, thanks for the info.
Mhm.
So it changed my whole mindset about that.
I love it. You know how we're always talking about reframing things and finding the good?
Hmm.
How do we find the good in this current state of affairs? Um, on top of my mind, here's something that could potentially be good. Whenever we get involved with our devices, social media, online gaming, online purchasing, what have you, we get a little closed off to what's going on around us. I mean, you see people out in town and they're glued to their phones, their pocket computers, you know. Um, I think one of the positives of the fact that we're all in this together and we're all feeling it and experiencing it is maybe instead of us engaging so much with the devices, not that we won't use them, we'll still use them, but I think maybe this might spark we need to face interact more with each other and lean on each other a little bit more. I think maybe some of us are going to be forced to do that, but I think that that could be a positive thing that comes out of it is that we disengage from relying so heavily on, you know, the internet and social media and comparison to what other people are doing. And we get back to our households and our communities and our friends and neighbors. And we operate in that bubble instead of on this worldwide type of thing. I think we're going to have to do that. And I think that's a positive that might come out of this.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. Um, and people, wherever you live, you have moments where you have storms and maybe the electricity goes out or, we lose internet or, some things happen. Well, tell me, think about those times, right? Do you freak out? Like, what are you doing now? Do you have a plan?
Yeah.
Are you, do you go into like detox mode because you don't have internet, you don't have social media? What is your go-to kind of thing when the lights go out? There is no electricity, there is no internet, there is no
Right.
computer in your hand. What are you doing?
I like using it, to enhance things or for entertainment purposes and maybe to streamline some workflow type stuff or but I love the fact that you and I grew up in a time where that wasn't a thing, where
Right.
we had to learn how to function
Mhm.
if the lights did go out, if you didn't have all these other comforts, like we could figure out how to fend, for ourselves and how to lean on each other and how to use each other's strengths. And
Mhm.
I think maybe we need to get back to some semblance of that.
Mhm. And being in Florida with hurricanes, when times get bad, and when the electricity goes out, you have your generator. Hopefully, some people do, but if you don't, you're pulling all that meat out of your freezer and you're cooking it on your propane grill, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then you can't eat all that food and you can't store it. So
Yep.
you can store some of it maybe with some ice in a cooler, but all the neighbors come out and you have like a hurricane party. So
Yeah.
everyone's sharing food and you're having some drinks and you're hanging out and you're doing
Yeah.
whatever. Someone's figuring out how to get some music going.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's and those are some of the best times. Some of those hurricane storm parties were some of the best times.
Yeah.
And then the lights come back on and everyone disappears and you go back into your home and I ain't talking to my neighbor for another 6 months.
Right. Isn't that wild?
What the heck?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
It's funny. Yeah. So that's a good exercise. You don't have electricity for 24 hours.
Mhm.
You don't have internet. What are you going to do? What's your plan?
Yeah. What does that look like for you?
All right.
And will you be okay? Yeah,
We be
you're going to
okay.
be okay.
Right.
However, do you think you're going to be okay?
Right. Well, when the lights go out, my pool's still good for 24 hours. It's not stagnant yet. So I'm gonna go stand my happy ass in the pool and pull out a book or sit in the pool and read a book.
Right.
And I would be happy as a pig in poop.
Eat 2 pounds of $13 ground beef.
Exactly.
Whew, I got
I'm
the
having
meat
a triple
sweats.
smash burger right now.
Yeah, the belly buster. I got the meat sweats just thinking about it.
Right. Mhm.
Mhm.
I know. It's so funny. And it's so funny how we prepare for that because I looked the other day and I have like 6 bags of ice in my freezer that have been there for a while. They're hurricane bags of ice. And I was
Mhm.
like, I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't even know if that ice is really good anymore. It's been sitting there so long. It's like a frozen block of ice or,
Yeah, yeah.
one big block. And I'm like, that's hurricane ice, man. That's just to keep stuff cold.
Yeah, it's gonna be absolutely fine. Just
It's
frozen
perfect.
water. It's good.
Perfect.
In a sack.
Right. In a sack. I
Yeah.
know. Because we got lucky last year, and so far we're lucky this year.
Mhm.
The hurricane, the derecho, hit the Midwest.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah,
Or was the other, what was the other sandstorm one?
well, I think it's a habab or a haboob or something like that. Is a
Yeah.
sandstorm. My brother was telling me when he lived in Arizona, they'd have these big like. Remember the sandstorm in the Mummy, where the Mummy created this big old. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it's a big old sandstorm that just kicks up and you know covers everything in sand and big old sandstorm.
Yeah. It does make you feel like, well, what are we really in charge of? Right.
Yeah.
What are we really in control of? Like,
No, it's so
we're
funny. I'm not moving
only,
to Florida. I can't deal with hurricanes. I'm like, well, you got them in the Midwest. You also have tornadoes, right? I think we can get an
right.
occasional tornado in Florida, but I'm like, listen, I got 7 days notice at least if a hurricane's hitting Florida. You got maybe 7 minutes before you know a hurricane or tornado's hitting your house.
Right.
Maybe.
Now you need a gondola in Chicago. Right.
Chicago turned into Venice. They're flooding and the derecho that
Oh, man.
crazy.
Hmm.
Crazy weather. This super El Nino that we got. There's a big storm heading into Hawaii right now.
Oh boy. Mm.
Big island, yeah. Things are not okay, Mrs. Parks.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're feeling it, and we want to hear your comments and questions about what you're dealing with and
Yeah,
how we could help you on the show, at least while we still have electric. So,
how are you managing it? What are your go-tos? How are you managing?
yeah,
We're watching Fallout right now. I know we're late to the game. It came out before
yeah,
but Fallout is post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear war.
yeah.
It makes you think a little bit.
Hmm.
Haha.
Tee. So, so what are your comforts right now? What are your big worries and concerns? And by reaching out and by talking about it, we maybe not solve the problem for you, but at least we can kind of be a guide, or at least we can open it up to a larger audience. And so there's somebody out there that potentially does have some advice or a solution or a suggestion that could be helpful. So if you do have suggestions too for the show in line with questions, then please send them in to us.
What are your life hacks? What are things that you're doing to kind of manage the state of affairs right now? Like to
Yeah.
hear 'em. Questions at therapyunzipped.com. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, you know what? That could be a good assignment. Send in your life hacks. Send in the things that you're doing right now to help you manage in this current state of, crisis.
We a food hack we did. We made a huge 9 by 13. It was fat lasagna on
Uh-huh.
Monday. I've had lasagna for lunch and dinner all dang week, right? So we put the whole thing together for maybe 15, maybe $20,
Yeah.
like that. But dang,
Badass.
we both ate for all week. Now, I really don't want another piece of lasagna for a few months, but hey,
I mean, I could spend $20 on a chicken sandwich,
exactly.
you know? So we'd love to hear some of your hacks too. That could be really helpful. And we'll share them on the show.
Right?
Send in your life hacks. We'll share them.
Questions at therapyunzipped.com.
Yeah.
Tom,
Well,
thank you for your time. Always great to see you.
same. Great to see you. Thank you for your time, Brett. And I hope that maybe we elevated some things a little bit. We'll see how things go. We'll just take it one day at a time. That's all we have.
That's all we got.
All right. So be grateful out there. enjoy as best you can and lean on each other. Check in on your people, see how they're doing. I think that's good. And we'll see you next time.
All right.